blame, you mad it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the ballroom. Eat pop, got me waiting 3 more hours. Taking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. Take some Misha, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and this is another one of our live AMAs. Every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, we go live to give updates. Today's going to be another jam-packed episode as usual. Updates, upgrades, and new features. So really excited to go over all that. As usual, I'm also joined by my co-hosts with the most, LA and Bull. I think Bull is gonna maybe join us later. He may miss this one again. He's been helping out a lot with the level X. The level layer 1X. Good lord, even I get it mixed up. The layer 1X socials. So he's been spread pretty thin. But I'm joined by LA. LA, how are you today?
Hello. I'm good. We've had a busy day behind the scenes today, haven't we?
Yes, absolutely. It's been one meeting after another. We had some AMA scheduled with Level X, and I was having some technical difficulties with Telegram. It was not playing nice today, but we have a lot of updates. We have even more AMAs this week, not only inside of our community, but also outside promoting everything that supports EMP. So yeah, I guess we can jump right into it. The number one thing is I just want to address some of the level X FUD. Again, we've been talking about 2 separate projects lately. I even sometimes misspeak on air here, but there's 2 separate projects. Level X is our sister project that includes rebasing and reflect rewards in both EMP and Xgrow. Layer 1X is the new interoperable blockchain project that we have discussed as well. So just make sure that you try to keep both of those separate, and I'll again do a better job of making sure I don't slip up while I'm speaking. But yeah, so the very first thing is the level X FUD. As some of you may have seen, again, crypto is a very interesting place. So apparently there was a coordinated FUD attack on level X. A former team member hijacked the level X medium and also put together a copycat Twitter page. And so with that, there were some accusations that were made about Ghost and his past and the history of the projects he's done. Now, we've done our own due diligence. I mean, obviously, we would never get into a project knowingly, putting our community at risk. So from all of our research so far, there has been no nefarious activities. I mean, the number one thing that we keep seeing is, that there was a seed round. Well, we were transparent about that from day one, that we did a seed round, and we purposely had it, under the radar, so to speak. It wasn't gate kept. It was open to the public. In fact, it was open for about 3 days after the big buys were made, and people could have taken advantage of that. So we didn't gatekeep anything. But the whole idea of a seed round, the way that we structured it, was that the largest bags and the biggest holders are actually the most loyal and most trustworthy in building a floor for the project. So and we've seen that. I mean, even with all the FUD and the massive dump off today, we're still at almost 2x from launch price. So again, everything we do for a reason. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, and a lot of it is coordinated. And unfortunately, people panic, sell because they don't know what to believe. They're not educated in the space like a lot of you are, and that we continue to try to bring education. But if you're that I hate to say concerned, but if you're that worried that a little bit of misinformation is going to bring a project to zero, then you probably shouldn't have invested in the first place. So again, LA, I know you've had your boots on the ground all day today. Level X did an AMA with the Ghost directly. I believe that's recorded if anybody wants to listen to it. But go ahead, Ella. You want to add to any of that?
Yeah, I'll just say what I said right on the AMA in their group, and basically it's this: when I saw the article pop up yesterday, I tried to read it from the perspective of someone who had no background on the team or the individuals or anyone and what they were about, and just read it from an outsider's perspective, and just try to judge the information from that perspective. And so I looked up the wallet addresses and the history and all that stuff. And if anything, the person writing the article discredited themselves and made themselves look like a fool, because the wallet addresses, no matter who they're owned by, which we've now found out only one of them is actually owned by Ghost, but um, those three wallet addresses have burned more level X than most other wallets in the protocol, and have not sold the token. So the fact that the article says that they're dumping and all this stuff, those wallets are actually holding the floor for the token so that the price doesn't dump. So it's actually the exact opposite of what it says. So the person writing the article makes themselves look dumb. And then you add in our interaction with the team and stuff that we've been working behind the scenes, and I don't have doubt in my mind.
Totally. And again, I mean, we can only go based on, what we know from being involved. I know there was also some, rumors of past projects, that Ghost may have been involved in, or moving from chain to chain, and a lot of that is just, pivoting. I mean, there's a major difference between a rug pull and nefarious activity, than simply just not having the resources or the community to continue, building. And so I think that is also a really important thing that a lot of people need to understand, is that sometimes things just don't work out. And, that's not any fault of a team or, it's just something that we can't avoid sometimes. So, yeah, again, we're the story is ongoing, but everything that we're seeing right now is shaping to be just a smear campaign, and coordinated FUD, and that's another thing. I mean, FUD can be very, very powerful in the wrong hands, because who knows? So let me give you an example here. Maybe somebody missed level X. They like what they see, but they weren't able to get into the seed round, so they're pissed about that to begin with. They feel like the wool was pulled over their eyes. Now they see the token going up massively, almost a 5x, and they weren't able to buy that whole time because they were hoping for a pullback that never happened. And now they want to do a coordinated FUD attack, induce the panic selling, hijack the accounts, yada yada yada. And now they are able to get a much better entry because they've created this panic and FUD, and now they're able to buy level X at a much cheaper price and basically FUDded all of you, out of your bags. I mean, that is the reality of what crypto can be, and that's why it's so important that you have conviction going into projects, because if you don't, then you do get flooded out of your own bags. And we had a very similar situation with EMP early on. Now, the bridges and the handshakes have been made. Everything is all good. But in the beginning, we had a very similar situation, and a lot of people, left EMP and missed out on a lot of opportunity on misinformation. So again, none of this is financial advice. Everybody has to do their own research. I know that we say it again and again and again, but nobody is pushing the buttons for you. So you have to go into projects knowing what you're getting into. Obviously, we want to have opportunities that are not only great for you as being part of EMP, but even outside of EMP that support, the token price. And, that nothing as far as that has changed. So, all right, I think that really covers a lot of it. Any specific questions that you've seen, LA, or one more time, I'll give you the floor if you want to add anything before we move on.
I think we're good. Anyone who has questions can go ahead and jump into the Level X group and ask them
Perfect.
on that particular topic.
All right, awesome. So, and I think, Kirk, I see your hand up. We'll have you on, bro. Hang out. We have a speakeasy update towards the end. So, Kirk, just hang on for me. But all right, the next update is our detonator upgrade. So we've been teasing this for a while now, but we're getting even closer. So again, the detonator style contract is very, very powerful. But no matter what happens, it's still reliant on volume and deterring people from just claiming every day. And so we address that with the incentives in detonator. But during a bear market and during the pool balance going down, no matter how great the incentives are, um, it's almost not enough. So we've come up with a very unique idea and what we're going to eventually implement to help curb some of the mass claiming that we see in detonator. So we're working on the white paper now. Jake is done with the coding. We're just in the final mainnet testing to make sure nothing is altered that we don't want it to be altered. But yeah, I mean, we're really excited for this. And so it will be, again, I'm not ready to give full details yet until the white paper is out. But we feel like this will massively incentivize compounding and therefore allow the pool balance to start growing again, which will have a direct impact on, your daily burst. And I know, a lot of people have a situation where maybe they didn't go in heavy enough into the detonator to begin with, and now with the pool balance going down, they feel like they're treading water and can't get caught up where their daily burst isn't even enough for a ticket now. So this fix will hopefully have a lot of help in that department, and we're excited. So yeah, again, I can't really go into too much detail, but LA, was there anything you wanted me to elaborate on with that? I know you've been instrumental in helping get that rolled out, as well as some of our big brain individuals as well that are also part of the call tonight. So if you guys want to chime in, feel free to as well. But yeah, go ahead, LA.
We're definitely going to do a full rollout. It is going to be requiring a lot of education. So when the time is right, we'll definitely be doing a full rollout with all of the details multiple times to make sure everyone's ready. But we're really excited about it. We have some damn smart people who come up with some great ideas and put them all together, and it's gonna make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I mean, the recovery of Peg, I think would have a lot of help psychologically to get people excited about Detonator Reactor again. But we have to kind of do what we have to do to slow the bleed, so to speak. And so this is a great solution for that. And moving forward, really, it does make a detonator and detonator style contracts even more, sustainable and robust. I mean, there is always that equation where you want something to be attractive to, people that are in DeFi. It has to have high yield. It has to be, worth the risk. But typically that comes with, sacrificing the sustainability. So it is a balancing act of making something very attractive, but still making it sustainable, where people aren't going to feel like it's going to take 500 days to ROI. So again, we're really excited for what we're rolling out. We'll have a full white paper update, and nothing again, that people aren't going to be like. In other words, it's not fundamentally different, but it will help with the claiming, and again, hopefully re-incentivizing compounding, which will help daily burst. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we do, it's about trying to get the pool balance to recover, and daily burst to recover as well. So yeah. All right. Anybody else want to chime in on that, or are we good to move on?
Hey AJ, it's
Hey,
Joe.
Joe, what's up, brother? How are you?
Good, man.
Awesome, bro. So
Yeah,
yeah, I know
I
you've
just
been yeah
wanted.
you've been instrumental. Again, we a lot of people that we work with, they're not officially part of the team, but all of Joe's been one of our closest supporters, and not only that, but like LA said, we're all big brain motherfuckers. So with that, Joe has definitely been a consultant, on what we can do to make things a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, again, Joe, I don't know if we're ready to kind of give them all the details, but if you want to just comment on
Yeah,
the
no,
sentiment behind why we're doing it. Yeah.
yeah, you pretty much said it, and and I can elaborate a little bit without giving away too much, and that's just because we don't want people to take any front run action on it. But
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely really excited for the changes. I personally didn't come up with it. We have some real smart guys and gals in here, but it was definitely bounced off of me. I really liked what I saw. I mean, I wish it could got implemented sooner, but things do take time, and we don't want to release anything that's going to be bad code or have any problems. But yeah, Jake's been great talking to him on the back end. He's able to implement everything, which is great. I knew he could do it, and yeah, he definitely is going to pull it off. And like you said, is testing it. But yeah, it's nice. It's not going to fix daily burst or APR overnight, but the system itself, even without any changes, as everyone has saw, is that it modulates, it throttles back the claiming to preserve the contract. So it inherently is designed to prevent draining of the contract. The sacrifice is that everyone's daily burst goes down when there is heavy claiming. But nevertheless, these changes are really, really exciting, because what it's going to do is it will, really benefit people that continue to compound, and in turn, it still gives the person who wants to claim heavy the option to claim, but the incentives that we put in place really makes them think twice about doing a heavy claim, a 0.7 claim type thing, where they're just claiming and not compounding. So I think when those mechanisms go in place, people will see that pool balance be curbed and then move in the right direction, and then slowly over time, and with peg recovery, that will bring in fresh money and more attractiveness to the contract itself. So it won't be a light switch where we're getting 1% and everyone's daily burst goes through the roof, but it definitely is the right step going in the right direction, and that's the most important thing. Is I've been in other projects where it's just bleeds out heavy, and then FUD starts setting in, and then the devs just put in a crazy APR. Well, all that becomes is exit liquidity instead of sustainability, and this is all about sustainability. So it definitely is a step in the right direction. I know it's long awaited, but just be a little patient. He is done with the code, just testing it. So we really are at the finish line, and I think everybody will really be pleased with the changes that are put in place.
Amazing, Joe. Yeah, man. That's why I love having you on, brother. You have a great way of summing it up, man. So yeah, 100%. To Joe's point, that is the psychological approach to why we're implementing what we are going to implement. And really, Joe said it perfectly. And if you take away anything from the upcoming detonator changes, it's this: it's that we want to incentivize and reward those of you that have always followed the recommended strategy of either a 5-2 or a 6-1, or even a 7-0, while we're in a bear market. But those are the people that have stuck with it, and that's what's healthiest for the contract. And these new changes will, hopefully really alleviate, like Joe said, the mass claiming. But without handcuffing people, because it is still their prerogative to claim every day. So if they do, we just can't have that, draining the balance at the detriment of the good actors. So again, we're real confident in this. Like Joe said, it's not an overnight fix. A lot of things, that we're rolling out, and even some things I'm going to talk about in a minute, they're not overnight fixes, but they are all movements in the right direction. And we'll get to a tipping point where all of these things come together, and that's when we see Peg not only recover but then maintain. So, all right, awesome, thanks, Joe. And there was a question in the chat. Will this change be done for the reactor? So yeah, this will be an update to all detonator as a service contracts and all future detonator as a service contracts. So we have about 6 partnerships in the pipeline that we just had to get through these updates before we can move forward, because we can't just launch a DAS and then have to migrate it, within a week or a month of launching it. So again, unfortunately, code is paramount, and we have to have the code in place before we can scale. So again, I mean, that's even more bullish news that we have all these other partnerships for Detonator as a service coming after these changes as well. And it won't affect any of the NFTs. That was another question. The power up, well, Sentinel and Detonator Defenders, those will not be affected with the updates. So, all right, awesome. Cool. Again, I'm excited for that. So, all right, let me get back to my notes. LA, is there anything you want to add real fast? I had to pull up my notes. I lost my place. I was looking at questions. Give me 1 second here.
The pressure to come up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the emphasis is just that we're always listening to community feedback, and when we feel like something needs to be adjusted or improved upon or upgraded, we are always listening. And it may take a little bit, because sometimes we need to go through things and kind of brainstorm with some of the sharpest minds behind the scenes and figure out the best way to go about doing things. But we are always listening, and we are always implementing, those little tweaks and upgrades to make sure that this machine keeps running smoothly.
Yeah, great point, LA. And it is the truth. I mean, like we said all along, failure is not an option. So we just have to continue to pivot and make small incremental changes that have a major impact over the long run. So, and yeah, so all right, I have my notes back up again. And again, this plays into all that. So, we have fusion, we have peg recovery, we have all these things that are in the works. And I mean, this is not vaporware. I've said this on other AMAs. Like, this is not a promise of, this will happen one day. I mean, we're literally building it as we speak. So again, that's why Jake really isn't on a lot of the AMAs, because he is putting in the effort to get this out the door. So again, even the team that we hired, I had a meeting earlier today. They're making major headway on Fusion, and hopefully we can get that out. My prediction from day one has been the end of quarter 2. So I still think that is very realistic on getting it out and ready. And there will be a lot of things that we implement in the meantime. So again, this is a major alpha here. But there's two things that we've been experimenting with that we've had some pretty great results with in testing, and one of those is converting nodes to up EMP. So I mentioned this on another AMA. On maybe a future idea, and I think that it will be something that we do. So rather than having people be able to claim, and dump EMP from nodes, they still get that EMP, but that EMP is now up EMP. So they can choose to hold as up EMP, and again, outweigh the taxes that up EMP has, or they can dump that EMP anyway, like they've been doing, but now there's an actual tax associated with that that helps all of us that are holding EMP. So I think that alone could be a very bullish thing for sentiment. And again, I mean, it only negatively impacts people that are not part of the long-term vision, and we're not taking anything away from them because they have the ability to hold an EMP up EMP and still get everything they're owed, if not maybe even more, because again, up EMP always goes up. If you're not familiar with that, please listen to another AMA. And then we're also experimenting with ETFs. So we have a great relationship with DEX Vaults. We've been working with them. Grover is another community member that you've heard of. We've had him on a few AMAs, and he's been really active in the chat. So we have some ideas utilizing DEX Vaults and incentivizing both e-bonds, which again, those are something a lot of you may have forgot about, but e-bonds, about giving a use case to e-bonds through ETFs. So that is also on the horizon, and that could dramatically help peg recovery as well. So we have so much happening, and again, I mean, even doing 2 AMAs a week, it's hard for us to really give everybody the full picture. And a lot of it's on purpose because, obviously, like Joe said earlier, we don't want people to front run us or do any sort of nefarious activity with that knowledge. But we are building. I mean, every single day, it's been, 12 to 15-hour days, for the last year and a half almost. So, we're not going anywhere. I know PEG continues to slip, but the reality is that as long as people start buying EMP again, the peg will recover, in no time. So that's everything that we're moving towards for sure. So, all right, LA, anything you elaborate on that? Again, I know I kind of went long-winded there, but
Yeah, we had a great meeting with Grover the other night, a few of us, and he brought us through a PowerPoint and took us through all the ways that the ETFs could really, really impact and help with PEG. And we were really excited about what he had to present to us. And I think I saw the light bulb go off above all of our heads, even though none of us were on camera except for Grover. But I certainly have been thinking about it ever since. I think that was on Friday night.
yep,
That all the days blend together.
totally.
But I've been thinking about it quite a few times since that call, so I think that's a good sign. I was pretty excited by what he had to present to us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I mean, all of the things I just mentioned are 100% separate from fusion, which again is more bullish to me, is that we have options for everything. And once again, all these updates and upgrades are rolled out, and then fusion on top of that, like, that's why again, I am definitely one to instill confidence and I'm not here to give financial advice, but I think those that have seen, the vision of EMP and want to stick it out with us, will be, handsomely rewarded as we continue to go through all this. So, yeah, I mean, again, take that for what you will, but I know that I invest in teams that are building, and we're building our asses off. So, again, it's just a matter of time. All right, awesome. Uh, Anything else with that, or we can move on to L1X, LA?
Yeah, I think we can move on.
All right, awesome. And yeah, and any, yeah, yep. And if anybody has questions, feel free to type them in the YouTube chat. That's really been the easiest way for us to see them instead of Telegram or Discord. But it's easier to do them while we're live. But all right, so L1X, we still have a whitelist opportunity with L1X, and we're working on some really interesting things in the background as well with L1X. So I've said all along, you're going to be hearing a lot more about L1X. And again, I think once we're able to kind of go public with a lot of that information, a lot of you could literally have your minds blown. So I can't really comment too much on that, but there is an ongoing whitelist opportunity still. Please use our link. LA, do you want to go over that real fast? I know you got an update from Machu, and that the minimum is different now too, correct?
Yep. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and post the link again after the after we get off. And basically, what you're gonna do now is right now we're in the phase of signing up for the whitelist, and so you do have to KYC, just to let you know. They're doing everything really, really professionally. The minimum investment is $100, and the maximum investment is $10,000. And so what's going to happen is right now you sign up for the whitelist, and then depending on how much you're planning to invest, there's going to be 2 windows to actually invest in when it's time to put the funds in. If you invested over $1,000, you're going to be in the first window, which they're going to be announcing pretty shortly here. It's going to open up for 48 hours only, and everyone who invested who's planning on investing over $1,000 will be in that first window, and then a second window will open up, and they will have saved some of the tokens for that second window, and anyone who's planning to invest $100 and up can get into that second window. Now, the pre-sale price is 10 cents, and the public sale price will be 50 cents. If you're getting in on the pre-sale, you will receive those tokens over a period. Is it 15 months, AJ?
Yep,
Or
exactly.
13?
Yep, 15.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And that's obviously so that, there's no dumping. So it protects you in your investment. And I think it's a smart way to do it. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, all right, awesome update. And again, we'll have Machu back on. We'll also probably have Kevin from L1X, the founder. He's a really talented guy, and I think it'd be really great for him to give, his firsthand account of the tech. That might go over a lot of our heads, but the tech is unbelievable. So yeah, we're gonna work on having him on as well. So all right, I want to bring on. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. One more.
Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
before we move on, do you mind going over again why it would be so bullish and good for the ecosystem to possibly, and nothing's set in stone yet, it's just something we're seriously considering, but to possibly do the up EMP for the nodes, because there is some.
Yep, I was in it. Yep, you took the words out of my mouth. So yeah, I saw 2 comments. I was in address before I brought on Kirk with Speakeasy. But yes, so again, the comment, I'll just read it. So there's context. It says, I have nodes, and this wasn't the deal when I got them. This is what you have seen now with MDB Plus on how slow the return is. So yes, I mean, that is the same economic model in terms of the buying and selling fees that you see with MDB Plus. However, having it be claimed from nodes, that is massive volume, that would help the price of up EMP go up even faster. I mean, there has been no volume built into up EMP, and it's already gone up 1.25% or 25% from launch, and it's been just over a month. So that's with no volume whatsoever. Now, if you bake in the volume from node claiming every day, every minute of every day, that is just a perpetual, engine that makes up EMP go up. So yeah, it may not be what you signed up for, and everybody can still sell But if you hold up EMP, say even an additional week or maybe 2 weeks at the most, that would allow you to still dump your EMP because you're a bad actor and want to, hurt the protocol or just not, you have to get out, which is fine too. But that you're still getting either a net positive return or still breaking even because you're gaining that tax. So again, I mean, yes, it's not what you signed up for, but it is what it is. I mean, we have to make decisions, and really, it's bullish for you, even though you don't realize it. And that's just, again, people just have to wrap their heads around things to begin with, and then it all makes sense because, like I said, if you're claiming into up EMP, you actually end up getting more EMP than you would
Mm-hmm.
from nodes because right now we're seeing the node balance is going down. We're not printing in the boardroom, so there's no
Mm-hmm.
new EMP going into nodes. So you could just claim from nodes forever, and eventually you get, 0.001 EMP a day, where you're making like nothing from dumping nodes. Or we can put these sort of implementations in
Mm-hmm.
that make it bullish for everybody. Even the dumpers. Again, I mean, it's everybody's prerogative to sell EMP if that's what they want to do. But you're literally shooting yourself in the foot and making way less money by doing that than if you would just pay attention and follow along with what we're trying to outline. I mean, there is no ulterior motives. We want everybody to win, and that's why we're fighting every day and building every day to make that happen. But some people just don't want to listen. So we're
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to eliminate that human error as much as we can. So go
For
ahead, LA.
sure.
Yeah, I know that was a little bit of
Yeah.
a rant, but yeah, go
No, that
ahead.
was so good. That was fire. And here's a reminder just for, because we haven't gone over this in, gosh, a really long time, but just a reminder, the nodes are not creating brand new EMP. They are only paying out EMP that already exists. And so if everyone's claiming their EMP and dumping, uh, they're forced to have the APR go lower and lower and lower because, like what AJ just mentioned, the boardroom is not printing right now. And that's the only way to print new EMP because the nodes are not producing new EMP. Only the boardroom can do that. And so if everyone's doing that, the peg is going to continue to go lower, and your nodes are going to produce less and less and less EMP per day. And so those comments in the YouTube, even though like I understand your thought process behind them, think about it this way. It's actually going to take way, way, way longer to reach your 400% ROI if it stays the way it is, potentially, because if people keep dumping, that APR is going to keep going down. So by us actually thinking of strategies to improve it and improve the ecosystem and start having the peg go up and start having different solutions like up EMP to actually give you the potential to make more on your nodes, because if you have a long-term mindset and you keep it in there longer than the other people that that are earning from their nodes are, you could actually earn more than 400% and quicker. So it's actually quite bullish.
Yeah, 100% LA. Great recap. And it is. I mean, I get it. People don't like change. I used to be one of those people as well. But really, again, if you believe in the team, you believe what we're doing. I mean, every decision that we make at EMP is for the greater good of the protocol. And people say, oh, well, the greater good of the protocol, what does that mean? We're all getting screwed? No, you are all the protocol. The idea is that we are all the protocol. So we want to do things that benefit the protocol, which in turn benefits all of the participants in it. And again, we can't please everybody. So if you don't want up EMP and it's not what you signed up for, then now you can just dump it. And now it's less of a hurt on the ecosystem because of what we are putting in place. So yeah, again, a little bit of there's something for everybody at EMP. So if you're not happy with that, maybe you're getting another part of the ecosystem that you feel is a better fit for you. And again, you're the one pressing the button, so it's not up. It's up to you at the end of the day what you want to do with Up EMP or nodes or farms or detonator or whatever it might be. So, all right, awesome. There was a few more things I wanted to clarify. And just to wrap that up. So, again, the comparison to MDB Plus. I mean, again, we and I'm not here to compare one or the other, but having the volume that's coming off of nodes, that could be upwards of 10,000 EMP a day going into Up EMP. That will literally help the APR or the percentage of Up EMP go up like like that meter, your power meter, where the needle just spins in a circle really fast, because that is a ton of volume that goes into Up EMP every day that does allow you to even make more. And those of you that are in Up EMP already, again, I think a lot of you have been sleeping on it, but those of you that haven't, I mean, the APR is insane. I mean, again, 25% in just over a month and a half, and it's EMP in, EMP out. So those that are involved see how powerful it is. So all right. Somebody said, are we going to tax selling of EMP in the new Fusion version? So the short answer is indirectly, yes. So we don't plan on having an actual tax on EMP. Again, I've been very vocal about that in the past. I'm not a fan of actually taxing the native tokens. However, we accomplish the same goal by not having a built-in tax. And taxes get very complicated as well. So if we ever want a listing on a major exchange, again, that's the vision at EMP. I mean, it's not if, it's when. When we want to have, a Binance listing or a KuCoin listing, you cannot have a token that has built-in taxes. So that's another reason that we would much rather have the contracts issue taxes, again, in and out fees of a contract, rather than taxing the native asset itself. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so short answer is indirectly there will be a tax on EMP infusion. So, but if you're a good actor and you're playing the rules, so to speak, that will never come into play for you at all. So, all right. A few other questions about Level X detonator. We'll be making some announcements on that soon. Again, they're one of the very first in the pipeline after the detonator upgrades. And we haven't made the official statement yet, but it most likely will be an LP pair. I know we had said it might be just single asset Level X. And again, never say never, but adding to the liquidity of Level X is very important, and that's part of the reason that detonator style contracts are so powerful, because it is LP. So again, we haven't made the official announcement. I think we're leaning towards LP, but check back with us when we have an official stance. So all right, was that it, LA? Was there any other questions?
I'll check for you.
Okay. In the meantime, if we didn't get to it, feel free to ask more. But Kirk, are you there, brother?
Oh yeah.
All right, here, man. Thank you for being patient, brother. Oh, I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, do we have some Speakeasy updates? I hope. Right? Go ahead, bro.
We do. We do. The first thing, I was kind of blown away with this. I mean, like some of you that know about the Speakeasy project that were here for the AMA or maybe in the VIP, because I've been updating in VIP a little bit on what we've been doing in terms of coming into the EMP protocol, mostly through EMP ETH and the eShare locking pool. I've been sharing what we've been doing, and we're very close to our first goal of $10,000 into EMP ETH. We're at about 8,200 right now, and my goal was to get to 10,000 before launch day. So I think we're going to easily make that. So that's one thing. The other thing that I looked up earlier today, which again, I mean, we're just getting started, but between our nodes and our EMP on our LP pairs and our DEX vault, in the last 2 weeks, Speakeasy has purchased brand new EMP in the amount of 53,755 EMP. So I'm pretty happy about that. And
that's amazing.
I mean, we're just.
I'll give you a round of applause, man. I wish I had a sound bite for you. But yeah, I mean, again,
where's my circus sound?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, right there you go. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, we've purchased 53,000+ EMP off the market in this time frame, and we're just getting started, man. And the other thing too is we have our EMP MKC, our membership NFT mint coming up on Thursday, which is this Thursday, right after the AMA on Thursday. And that is a chance for people that are in EMP to get into our protocol and use some EMP to get in, which it's 700 EMP to get the MKC, which basically doubles your daily rate from 0.25 to 0.50. So, and of course, we're going to take that EMP and put it right back into the protocol. So, it's a safe way to use some of your EMP and know that it's going to be used in an appropriate way. And, again, I hope to, see a bunch of people come in and not just support Speakeasy, but you're also really supporting EMP, because that's kind of what I wanted to get across, is that, we're going for it. And for sure. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Kirk. And you've done a great job, again, educating people. I know you've been doing your own AMAs in Speakeasy, which has been killer. So yeah, and again, just to reiterate one more time, this Thursday is when EMP members will have an opportunity to get a membership with their EMP, right?
That's correct. Everybody else has to buy it with BNB, but we've set it up. You were nice enough to let us do that, and so I will be posting a link, at the end of the AMA Thursday, next AMA, on where everybody can go, and you just go in and click the button and pay 700 EMP, and you get your NFT right there. And once we launch, which we now have, that's another thing I wanted to mention. We have an official launch date. We are launching.
Let's hear it. Yeah, again, drum roll. I need all the sound effects. Yeah.
We are launching on Saturday, March the 4th. So Saturday, March the 4th is our official launch date. So we will have all of our various NFT mints done by that time, and we'll be good to go. And we're going to launch on Saturday the 4th. So I'm really excited about that. And I have one other thing to share that I'm just giddy about. I took a serious look at it, and I said in the chat a minute ago that when you were talking about Detonator, that all that was music to my ears, because I made the decision. I hadn't decided to go into Detonator with Speakeasy. It was because obviously when you're locking up money, that's something to really consider.
For sure.
But I ran the numbers, and it looked great. And tonight's snipe winner was Speakeasy.
Amazing, Kirk. I love it, man. Again, bro, people are asleep at the wheel on the gains, and you said you did the numbers. Congrats. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just like, again, and we're not going anywhere. So for me, time is fine. I'm happy with time, and we're going to be here for the long run, and we're going to be, doing our 6-1 or 5-2 strategy, and that's going to be fine. And I'm just so excited, because we got that opportunity, and people are sleeping. It wasn't that big of an investment to get 300 LP prize. So,
For sure.
you know, and I mean, I know Detonator's coming back. All of this is coming back. And so those are my updates. Pretty exciting. I'm pretty geeked out.
Yeah, man. No, I love it, bro. Again, congrats on that, and congrats on all the things that you've put in place for Speakeasy. I mean, we're big supporters already, and we will continue to be. So I think we have you back on Thursday, right, LA? Are we gonna go over it one more time for the membership mint?
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure.
Okay,
Kirk, are you up for
perfect.
that?
Yeah, I'll pop in and do stand up for 5 minutes, and then we'll launch it, and it'll be open for 24 hours. There'll be a 24-hour window, and so obviously it's just like anything else. Do your research. If you want to pop over to Speakeasy, we've got white papers and all the stuff, just like everybody else. So, but I really, really hope that we get a good turnout from the EMP community, so that I can take a huge amount of EMP and just drive it right back into the protocol.
I love it, man. Absolutely. And again, to reiterate that, we talked about it in depth on the other AMAs, but all the EMP collected for that membership is put into the protocol. So this isn't EMP, that the Speakeasy team will dump. They utilize that to pair up with the BNB or ETH that they're able to accumulate through other sales of memberships or the NFTs. And now they're able to farm eShare at essentially half price. And because Kirk, is a good actor and understands the ecosystem, that helps us grow together. And again, lock up more LP for the long run, for sure.
And the other thing that I'm looking at right now, very carefully, I think we'll do some of it, depending on how well this goes. I think we're going to we will, I just don't know how much. We're going to be putting some of this EMP2 into Up EMP. So because we haven't exposed to that part of the protocol, and I like it, and I know how that's a great way to support the protocol through the tax system that has. So we'll be doing that as well for sure. We'll start to get a position going there.
Yeah, no, that's great news too. And again, we can talk strategy outside the chat, but yeah, I mean that is part of it. And David K, that was another question from Dave K. He said, does that mean that I have to interact with Up EMP outside of the protocol? And the short answer to that again is no. So as of right now, we're rolling out two things, and I appreciate you asking this, Dave, because this was something I want to talk about earlier. We're also rolling out a partner page. So similar to the Auto Vault page, where there's a header at the top, and then a list of all the Auto Vaults. We're going to have that same sort of model with all of our partner projects. So this will be direct links to projects that either support EMP directly or indirectly, or are again, teams that we value, teams that we trust. And with that, you'll be able to get to any of these outside protocols to interact with them. However, with nodes directly, if we actually implement Up EMP as part of the claim of nodes, that will be on the UI of the nodes page. So it'll be very straightforward. It'll tell you what you're claiming, the value that you're getting in Up EMP, the value that you would basically be losing if you decide to just then sell immediately and dump the EMP, and all that will be again on the UI. So you don't have to worry about tracking down the Up EMP in another website, another protocol. All that will be then integrated directly into our site. And again, Up EMP is a partner token with the Up Finance team, but we're on all the multi-sigs. The code itself is very, very straightforward. I mean, there's not a lot of complexity at all. So that the risk of any sort of exploit or anything like that is very, very low. So we're confident that we can just integrate it right into the UI of the nodes page. So yeah, even more alpha for everybody at the end. So all right, awesome. Well, I think that was it. Was there any other questions, LA?
Yeah, there's
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
one more
Okay.
thing. I'm just waiting for a reply. So can you just talk for 2 more minutes, and then I will
Yeah.
bring it up?
Yep, no worries. So let me just go through the questions One more time.
Oh, never
Oh,
mind. I got
okay.
it.
All right.
Okay. There's just they're asking us to cover what to do now that we have taken the swap down from the website for the V1 eShare, and it's been drained. So, can you cover that
Yep.
and cover? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, then, yeah, I know Jake, again, was working behind the scenes to go forward with that as well. So it sounds like it has been done. And yeah, I mean, if you did not get your eShares migrated over, we will have a form. Again, LA will help me post that as soon as we get off the chat. And then you would just have to put your wallet address and your Telegram username, and then we will be able to distribute the value of your eShare in eShare version 2. However, it will have a 25% tax. So again, we've done everything we can to be transparent and get the word out. It was over 10 days. More than that, really, because we left it open another 2 days after the deadline. And so, if you haven't been active, or in the ecosystem, that 25% tax, it is what it is, because we have to now manually go in and do the migration. There is actual work being done to do that, and we didn't want to be totally unfair, because a lot of times with a migration like this, if people don't do it in time, they get no value. I mean, if you miss out, you miss out. So we're not that team, though. We're not that mentality. So you still get 75% of the value. And so we would just issue it to you on eShare version 2. And now all the liquidity is in V2. So we do have some of the liquidity that we drained. We are holding it in the treasury until the stragglers are accounted for. Again, through this manual process, and then any additional uh, 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 cash will then be added to the new LP. So again, it's all in BNB right now, I think, or BUSD, but we'll add that after we've gone through the migration for the stragglers. So if anything, again, it actually reduced the supply of eShare, which is bullish. I mean, a lot of wallets were compromised, or maybe people forgot their keys, and now there's that transfers value, to all of you that are still in EMP. So this was again a compromise to be as fair as possible, but to still move forward, because we can't just leave the swap open indefinitely and have two versions of eShare and two liquidity pools. I mean, it can't happen. So yeah, we're excited, and in all reality, I mean, we're talking not a lot of eShare, so I don't think it's going to impact a lot of people. A lot of you were amazing. The migration to V2 went very, very smooth. So the mass majority of eShare is now eShare V2, just as we had intended. So does that help, LA? You want to add to that?
Yeah, and just one last thing. Someone on Discord wrote like flash loan eShare price dumped $80 to $3, and just to clarify, like that's because we're draining the V1 liquidity. So from now on, you have to check the V2 price.
Yes, and do not buy eShare V1. If you're buying eShare V1 and then submitting for the manual transaction, I mean, obviously we can see that on chain. So if you're buying eShare V1, that's a dead token at this point. Everything is now eShare V2. So again, please help us educate people, because there is some potential FUD that can go with that. So just if you do see that, please explain that no, not a flash loan, not a rug, none of that. It's simply migrating. And again, I mean, you can see everything on chain. It's fully transparent on what was done. So, all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we're
So,
gonna put up an announcement, and I think we will be putting up a rule in the forum saying like, if it was purchased after a couple days ago when the migration ended, or yesterday or today or whatever date we choose, it doesn't qualify because it's done now.
Yep, 100%. I mean, it'll be from the exact moment that the liquidity was drained. So if any of you, again, weren't paying attention and bought a little bit, then you can still migrate it over. But, we can't have $3 each share migrated to, $80 each share. So, and again, there's no way somebody can exploit that because we've drained the liquidity. So again, it's a protection against the value all around. So all right, awesome. Oh, and there's Bull at the very end. Bull, I know you've been busy with L1X and a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But any final words before we head out?
Pay attention, everybody. They're dropping good stuff here, so I see a lot of people online, but not enough participants. So please pay attention. It's your life, it's your investment. So stay involved, stay connected, stay protected.
I love it. Again, short and sweet, Bull. Yeah, you come in and drop the hammer at the very end, man, with that crypto knowledge that you're always sharing. And yeah, it is. I mean, those that are involved, those that are paying attention, they're the ones that benefit most. And that's another beautiful part of how EMP has been designed. We reward that daily interaction and people that want to help us, put the bricks in to build what we're doing here. So, all right, awesome. All right, guys, I think that's it then. LA, anything else before we sign off?
No, I think that's it.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks again to everybody. We'll have, again, our AMA on Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll have some updates in the interim. We'll still be doing some AMAs with Level X, and we should have even more info on everything I discussed today in terms of rollout dates and new features by the end of the week. So we'll let everybody know when that happens. And if there's any questions, as always, please feel free to join any of our socials. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you on Thursday.